What's up, everybody? If you're thinking about buying a Jeep Gladiator and you're wondering about the comfort and the driver experience, this video is for you. Now, when I was researching the Jeep Gladiator, I watched every YouTube video I could find, and I didn't find one video that gave me that told me everything I wanted to know about what it's like to drive a Jeep Gladiator. And that's what this video today is going to be all about. So let's start with comfort, and the main thing everybody thinks about right away is the seats. I've heard a lot of people complaining about the seats in the Gladiator, and just for the record, mine is a Mojave, so it has different seats than the Rubicon and the other models. And so the Mojave has larger bolsters, which is the side panels, you know, on the sides of each seat. They're bigger, they hold you in better, and making the thing more comfortable. So I really can't say what the seats are like in the other Gladiator models, but the Mojave, it's awesome. When we first bought this Mojave, literally 2 days later, we drove 13 hours from Southern California to Southern Idaho, and me and my wife loved it. The seats were awesome. I have the leather seats, and they were totally comfortable. I didn't have any complaints. Added bonuses are creature comforts, which is the heating in the seats, which I just go in here and I just hit heated seat. There's also buttons here on the dash, so you got 3 levels of heat. And so for me, the seats are awesome. I have no complaints at all. Let's talk about the steering wheel. The steering wheel on the Mojave is beefier than the one in the Rubicon, and probably the other models too. So, and it also has these wider areas, you know, in the grab, the 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, making it more sporty. So the steering wheel is awesome. It's nice and thick and good for the diameter of your hand. The steering wheel is heated, so I got a nice warm steering wheel, keeping my hands toasty. Another fine user experience. Steering on the Gladiators, you know, you hear a lot of people complain about it floats a lot. You know, my vehicle's floating down the road and I'm constantly needing to correct it. I have zero experience with that in my Jeep Gladiator. It steers as good as any Silverado I've owned, and I've been in the Silverado for the last 30 years. So I don't have that floating motion in my Gladiator. I don't know if it's just the different models that do it, or if these people are being hypersensitive. But my Mojave is fantastic. Steering's fantastic. I can adjust the steering wheel up and down to fit, you know, my height or how I prefer it. I have mine about in the middle, so that's another nice feature to have. The armrest right here is a great height, so the seat to the steering wheel to the armrest cockpit is perfect for me. I am 5'10", 185 pounds. Let's talk about the way the Gladiator rides down the road. That's a big part of comfort. The Mojave with its 2.5-inch Fox shocks is phenomenally smooth, unbelievably smooth. As smooth as my Silverado was. So we have a really bumpy freeway here in Riverside, and it's solid going down those bumps. Last night when I was driving the Gladiator, I was on a street that was all chopped up and had holes and cracks and everything, and you can feel those, but it feels solid. Doesn't feel like there's anything loose. So the ride in this thing is phenomenal. Now, when you're going down the freeway, another thing you're going to feel is the wind. You know, going 85 miles an hour down the freeway. Yeah, you're going to feel more of that than in most trucks. It's not bad, you know, but it's there. You know, you're driving a really good looking brick down the road, so you're going to feel a little bit more body motion. You've got a really steep windshield, which also hits the wind differently, and so a little more noise, a little more pushback from the wind. Let's talk about road noise. I have the stock 285 tires on here. They're all-terrain, and they're really very, very quiet and smooth. And so that's the thing, depending on your tires, you're running a mud terrain, you're going to get a little more noise. I mean, it's a Jeep. It's going to be more noisy than most vehicles. That's just the nature of Jeeps. Another part of the driving experience is the way you feel when you're in a Jeep. And I have to say, I love the vibe of the interior on this thing. It's industrial. It looks like adventure even when you're driving on city streets. It just has a cool vibe to it. I can't really explain it more than that. It feels different than anything I've ever driven. The wife loves it more than me, which is a little bit shocking, but that's a big bonus too. So yeah, this interior is so cool. I love it. Let's talk about the seat again as far as comfort goes. There's a strap right here on the side, and if I pull that forward, I can recline the seat wherever I want it. And you know, my wife's over here. She can pull her strap and lay her seat almost all the way back. So that's another nice comfort feature. Let's go back to road noise. I do have the soft top model, so I'm probably getting a little more road noise than the hard top. But during that 13-hour drive, I had no problem with it. Me and the wife were fine. It's not really a big deal, and the idea that I can just, you know, unhook it here and here, and in less than 30 seconds, flip that thing back and have a convertible is priceless to me. Now, as you can see, it's raining today, and during our 13-hour drive, we got poured on with rain. So hard, I could barely see with the windshield wipers on full blast. Now, these things, I'm always hearing like, oh, I'm getting leaks coming into my interior. Even in that pouring down rain, we didn't get one single drop of water inside the cab of this truck. And we have the soft top. That, to me, is pretty amazing. So, just another creature comfort is knowing you're not going to be getting water coming into your cab. There's like a really short, shallow dash before it hits the windshield, which is unusual to me. But once again, it feels like a Jeep because that's there. It's just another vibe feature of the... Now, I also think it's very cool that it has a stick shifter, unlike a lot of modern vehicles that are getting buttons and stuff. This thing is very cool, and you can just flip it over like this and go into manual mode. Just another thing that makes this thing more comfortable to drive. Now, the transmission shifting points, they're not perfect. Sometimes when I'm going out of my neighborhood up this hill, it stays in gear a little longer than I wish it would, but maybe that's because it's cold and it's warming up. But other than that, and knowing I can go into manual shift and control myself is a great feature. What about power? Is it enough power? Well, let me tell you this. Without towing anything, the power is fine. Yeah, it's not a V8. I mean, don't expect a V8 kind of power, but it's enough for me, and it's just a nice... I just get in this thing and I'm comfortable and I can just cruise, you know. Now, when I was pulling my boat, I think it's around 4,500 pounds, 21 footer. The motor was shockingly good. I put it in manual shift and I could barely even feel the boat back there. Honestly, I'm not joking. Wow, look at this lake. But, you know, I'm gonna make another video about that and, you know, how good the mileage was. 16 miles per gallon pulling a boat. That's unheard of. Manual shifting. Could barely even feel it back there, taking off from red lights. It just went. The weight of the boat didn't, you know, push the Jeep around barely at all. It was phenomenally good. So if you're thinking about buying a Gladiator, obviously whatever model you want, test drive it, feel it out. The Mojave is phenomenally great. I'm so happy with it. And if you decide to get one of these, or been thinking about getting one of these, just do it. You're gonna enjoy it. I almost guarantee it. All right, guys, I think as far as comfort goes, that covers about everything. The air conditioning works great. The heater works great. Everything you can do functionally inside the cab I have no complaints. Matter of fact, my seat's getting a little too warm for me. I had to just turn the heat off. Get yourself a Gladiator, quit thinking about it. You're gonna enjoy it. You'll become part of the community, which is cool. I'm on Facebook pages where I can learn about them, meet people, hook up with them, go off-roading. Oh, by the way, the Mojave off-road, you don't need a Rubicon unless you're gonna do gnarly rock crawling. This thing, you'd be surprised how good this thing goes off-road on gnarly terrain. I'm talking crazy stuff. So, hey, and if you do want a locker, you can buy one for around 400 and something bucks and have it thrown in, and you've now got everything a Rubicon has. I'm doing a build on this Gladiator, so if you want to watch what I'm doing, and I've done some off-roading, if you want to check that out, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up for this video if you're digging it, and see you guys next time. Peace.